Happy summer solstice. This is Darcy with Featherwood Farm. I'm gardening in Okemos, Michigan, Zone 5B, and today I wanted to do another quick tour in a different part of the backyard. We'll be in the cottage garden, and I just want to show you some of the projects that I'm currently working on back here. So, first thing, you can see I have one of the cattle panel arches up. I did not get enough T-posts. I don't know what I was thinking. So I have to get more T-posts to finish off the last 3 rows of beds, but I do have the panels. And then we got this fence put up around it, mostly to keep the chickens out. They've been getting a bit destructive. So I left a path wide enough in between the animal pen and this new fenced area for the tractor to fit through, or the lawnmower. Oh, and you can see that I still haven't finished the duck coop. It's not going to be the duck coop now. My goats love it so much that I'm just gonna keep it a little like secondary shelter for them, and I'm going to build the ducks something else, somewhere else. Just love seeing those goats happy. Inside this fenced portion, I have these 2 raised beds. One is planted entirely with little strawberry plugs. I think these are eclair, yes. They're not gonna stay here, but I just got them as like an end of season deal, so they had to go somewhere. And then in the second bed, it is all kind of leftover seeds that I had. I had, you know, like 10 seeds of this, 6 of that. So I think there will be some branching sunflowers, a few different zinnia types, and a couple of gomphrenias, and some cress. So this will be a mishmash of a bed when everything's in bloom. I'm not gonna keep the landscape fabric down. I just did that while I was getting everything set up, and the chickens were still able to get in here and they were scratching the dirt around, just to keep it cleaner, a little bit more tidy. But I'm gonna pull that up very soon and get mulch paths laid in. And the next big addition, oh my goodness, which I did not think through. I have my sprinkler going and it's getting my, oh no, my building plans are getting all wet. Okay. So the next big thing, the ceramic coop construction has begun. Everything's framed out and it should be done this week. Today's Wednesday, so yeah, I definitely plan on having it done by Saturday and having them moved in here. They're gonna be quite happy. Just have to finish the roof, some siding. We do want to insulate it, so that's why it'll take a bit longer. We'll get it insulated and have the inner walls lined. The sheet mulching worked pretty well over here. As you can see, the cardboard is pretty much gone, fairly well broken down. You know, up until only a few days ago, the chickens were able to get right in here, so they scratched a lot of it up. But weed suppression has been awesome, and the farm-made compost is looking beautiful. And so this is all going to be planted eventually with things that have yet to be determined, but everything is going to be a cottage garden vibe, obviously. So there's the mock orange that's already in, and this is the Darcy Bustle Rose, which is looking quite lovely despite the foliage being impacted by sawfly larvae. I got the raspberries and blackberries in the ground. I'm gonna come on top and mulch around that. And my blueberries are still in planters over here. I didn't want to get them in the ground until after they had finished fruiting. I didn't want to impact that at all, but they're looking so good. Should have a good harvest. I have very alkaline soil, so I know that I will have to treat the soil with some acidifier once they do go in the ground. I put the Emily Bronte rose in the ground. This is the one that was in the planter in the Daydream garden, but because it has just been so hot and so dry, she was really struggling, but she's kind of on the rebound, looking really good. She's not affected by the sawfly larvae, so that's fortunate. And the foxglove are kind of on their way out of the first flush of blooms. The pollinators have really been loving this area with all of the salvia and the foxgloves. And so yes, these are basically all apricot, except in the back there are a few of the cream, you see, and one purple. I don't know where that came from. It was one lonely seed apparently that must have been mixed in with either the apricot or the cream, but really lovely color. And the ginger wine 9-bark blooms are gone, but the seed heads are so beautiful. They really pop against the foliage. The Schubertii alliums are also about on their way out. They're massive. I don't know if that's picking up very well, but they have to be at least like 8 inches, 8-inch globes. And then the drumstick alliums are gonna start blooming here really soon. And I still haven't mulched this area, but I do have all of the white moon garden plants in. The little alyssums are already putting on little blooms. And then I have the vining rose planted right here, again also affected by the sawfly larva. I've been using neem oil to treat that. I just started, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, and then looking at the messy area, so it might be hard for you to tell, but this pile is actually dwindling. So the siding is going to be used on the cerama coop, as well as that roof peak. These 4x4s are going to be used on the entrance to this. I'm going to replace those T-posts in the very front, put in the 4x4s, and build a cute gate. And then once this is all cleaned up, kind of parallel or in line with this post, I'm going to build a cattle panel hoop house, just a small one. I think it'll be about 8 foot wide. And that'll be enough room for the tractor to come in through this gate and pull up here. And then the tractor will also be able to fit through here just when I'm depositing compost and mulch seasonally. And the hoop house will be mostly for kind of season extension on flowers, but I want the entrance to it to kind of be in line with this fence so that I don't have to come in this fenced portion to get to the hoop house, if that makes sense. And then I'll extend this perennial bed to kind of butt up against the hoop house so that it all kind of blends and looks beautiful. And then actually in front of this fenced part, I'm going to put in kind of a hedgerow of flowering shrubs, things that I can cut on. I'm really wanting to get some viburnum, some snowball viburnum, and like a popcorn viburnum, and maybe some more 9-bark for foliage, maybe a few deer villas, maybe some more roses. We'll see. And I think that is kind of it. Now that it's fenced off and it's chicken proof, I'll be able to fix this pathway and do these pathways as well. This last little section of grass that is remaining, I'm actually going to smother, sheet mulch, all of that. This is all going to be planted. Everything aside from where the tractor will be driving through is going to be planted with things that are going to be able to do double duty, can be used for cut and ornamental. And yes, The Serama coop is inside of this, but the Seramas are tiny. They do little to no damage to anything, especially once plants are established, and they will also be able to get out of this. I'll have a little like tiny Serama chicken hole in the new gate that they can freely enter and exit as they wish. I think that is everything. So thank you for joining me on this quick little update, and I look forward to sharing some finished projects with you really soon.